I 29 female cheated on my husband, 35 male of 10 years, how to move on from here. We've been married for 10 years and have 3 children. Our marriage has experienced many ups and downs, particularly in the last several years. I've always suffered with depression, and I've been feeling quite overwhelmed with my life for the last year. We don't have any relatives nearby, we have troubles with our kids, etc. And I've had numerous emotions of wanting to leave my life. I adore my spouse, but I had an affair a few months back. We only met 3 times but communicated on a daily basis until all came out 2 weeks ago. My husband discovered an email account of mine in which he received communications from another guy I had just met despite the fact that we had not yet had. Yes, I was starting a new relationship. So now that I've told him everything, he'd want to forgive me and go on. He alternates between being highly furious, almost to the point of going after the other guy and injuring him, terribly sad and hopeful/compassionate towards me. He knows that this was not truly him. He has never done anything like this before, and he has to find out why he did it. He requested that I receive STD testing and therapy, which I have done. He then phoned the spouses of the other 2 guys and informed them of what had occurred. I'm not in touch with either of them right now, but I did speak with the one I'd been engaged with the longest, and the chat was not pleasant. We were never in love, and being together was never an option, even though I believe we cared for one another on some level. Now, I feel like I was an idiot, which is difficult to cope with as well. I want to be content with my marriage. I'm prepared to go to any length to find out whether we can be happy together. That is what our children deserve. Meanwhile, every day is a battle. He believes I don't really love him since I couldn't do the things I did. The other man lived a great distance away. There was a lot of deception involved in the few times I saw him. He'll question me about the facts of the affair, and I'll try to be open and honest, but it sometimes enrages him. I thought whether it would have been better if I had just terminated the affair, focused on my marriage, and never told him. This is agonizing for both of us. If anybody has gone through this, I'd love to learn what worked for them and how they rectified a situation like this. Thanks. Added after the fact. Someone requested me to provide additional information about the relationship up to this point. I'd been in a relationship with my spouse since I was 17 years old. We were both of the same faith back then, but in the last several years I'd given up all religion and he switched to another. That generated problems. We also had a dead bedroom for a long time, which I attribute mostly to years of pregnancy and nursing, as well as my unhappiness and our strained relationship. I am not making excuses for what I did. There is no excuse. However, our connection hasn't been fantastic in a long time. I'm a stay-at-home mom with no relatives nearby. I seldom get a break, and for the last 7 years, my life has centered around him and my children. I didn't fall in love with the guy I was engaged with, but I did fall in desire for him and ate up all of his attention. I separated the entire thing from reality, and anybody who knows the real me would never think I could do anything like this. I'm sorry for what I did to my husband, and I'm sorry for seeing him so upset and wailing on the floor about how this has wrecked him. Nonetheless, he still loves me, supports me, and wishes for my recovery so that we may be happy again. That's all I'm looking for. I feel like I made a major mess of everything, and I'm going to work on regaining his trust, but I'm still shattered by the entire thing, and I'm trying to get out of this fog and figure out what to do. Thanks. Story 2. My 24 male girlfriend, 24 female, and my brother, 26 male, got into a fistfight over a political argument, and now my family is demanding I break up with her. I presented my girlfriend to my parents, brothers, and extended relatives a few days ago during a family gathering. This was the first time I'd seen them since the epidemic began, and things got off to a great start, with everyone getting along and having a good time. As more alcohol was drank, this would alter. My fiancé and brother got into a heated political disagreement that quickly became violent, resulting in significant injuries for both of them. Accounts disagree as to who threw the initial punch, and I honestly don't care since they both actively participated to the battle and antagonized one another. When my girlfriend had the distinct edge, the battle was ultimately broken up. My mother yelled at my girlfriend to leave, so we did. I adore both my girlfriend and my brother, and I don't blame one of them more than the other for the disagreement. My partner does not seem to have any resentments and is ashamed by her actions throughout the encounter. My brother and parents, on the other hand, blame my girlfriend entirely and insist that I cease my relationship with her or they would sever all links with me. I will not do that, but I do want to retain my connection with my family and persuade them that my girlfriend is not entirely to blame for this situation. My brother has also demanded that my girlfriend pay for his purported medical expenditures and has threatened to report her to the police if she does not. Growing up in this area has taught me that in the local police department makes it unlikely that anything would come of the allegation, since they would almost surely refuse to entertain the concept that a woman might attack a guy. I offered to pay off my brother, but my girlfriend refused and said she would only pay him if he could verify that the medical expenditures were legitimate. My girlfriend's injuries are still apparent, but she did not go to the hospital. I advised that she go to get her injuries recorded, but she refuses. I just hope everyone could forget about it and go on, but writing this makes me believe my family is behaving irrationally and that I should sever ties with them, as they are threatening to do with me. Maybe growing up with these individuals blinds me to how ludicrous their conduct is. I'm at a loss on what to do. Update. You persuaded me that it could matter who throws the opening punch. I had heard two mutually incompatible accounts of events before writing the initial post. One was told to me by my fiancé, and the other by my parents and brother. It's difficult for me to imagine that any of them would lie about something as important as this. I've subsequently gone out to everyone else who may have seen how it began, and I've gotten two pertinent responses. My aunt validated my parents' and brother's story, and my youngest sister 18F detailed a situation identical to what my girlfriend had told me. Everyone who supported my brother had the chance to converse with him, and with each other, and to consciously or accidentally impact each other's stories. My girlfriend and sister would never do anything like that since they don't know one other, and my sister would have no motive to lie for my girlfriend. I don't believe there's any other explanation for them presenting the same narrative than the fact that it's true. As a result, I'm fairly positive that my brother struck my girlfriend first. My parents have backtracked on their warning to break relations with me, since I haven't broken up with my girlfriend, but they still insist she isn't allowed back into their house and will never be part of our family. At this point, I'm done with them. She has done everything, even offering to pay for his medical bills, and my brother refuses to even hear her apology, much alone make his own or accept any responsibility. At this moment, I am completely behind my girlfriend, just as my parents are completely behind my brother. Many individuals who commented on the original post wondered whether my brother was racist or assumed he was when I disclosed the nature of the dispute. I honestly don't know how to respond. My brother sometimes parrots racist talking points from TV and social media, particularly against Hispanic people, yet he was passionately opposed to the deportation of a nearby family who had arrived from Mexico last year. He even indicated, presumably jokingly, that their deportation was part of a plot to undercut Trump's immigration policies by deporting nice individuals instead of dangerous criminals. I'd never heard or witnessed my brother use a racist slur or treat somebody differently because of their color. I suppose the answer is dependent on how racism is defined.